Marilyn Monroe was an American actress, model, and singer, known for playing comic blonde bombshell characters. She became one of the most popular sex symbols of the 1950s and early 1960s, as well as a symbol of the year's sexual revolution. She was a top-billed actress for over a decade, and her films grossed $200 million, equivalent to $2 billion of today's value. Monroe remains a pop culture icon, even after several decades of her death. Marilyn Monroe's mother Gladys was married twice and she was a negative cutter in the studio. Monroe was born Norma Jean Mortensen in Los Angeles on June 1, 1926, and her mother Gladys' co-worker Charles Gifford was said to be her biological father according to DNA tests carried out in 2022. Her screen name Marilyn Monroe was selected by 20th Century Fox studio executive Ben Lyon and herself in 1946. Monroe spent most of her childhood in 12 foster homes and in an orphanage, and she had to marry 21-year-old neighbor James Doherty at the age of 16 due to her life circumstances. Monroe was working in a factory during World War II, and it was when a photographer from First Motion Picture Unit spotted her and helped her to begin a career as a pin-up model. Monroe's pin-up model career helped her to get short-term film contracts with 20th Century Fox and Columbia Studios, and she played minor film roles. Monroe signed a contract with Fox Studio and she became a very popular star soon. Monroe played lead roles in many comedy films such as Young as You Feel and Monkey Business, which did very well at the box office. Monroe became one of the most marketable Hollywood stars by 1953, and her films established her image as a dumb blonde. Monroe's leading roles in films such as Noir Niagara, Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and How to Marry a Millionaire were very successful, and these films were overtly relied on her sex appeal. Monroe was suspended by a studio because of her refusal to do a film in 1954, but she returned for the film The 7-Year Itch in 1955. Which turned out to be one of the biggest box office successes of her career. Monroe involved herself very actively in the creation and management of her public image. She was disappointed with the typecast roles offered to her and the low payments from the studios. Monroe founded her own film production company in 1954 and devoted time to build the company and to hone her method acting skills under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio. Fox Studio awarded her a new contract with a larger control and salary in the later part of 1955. Monroe's performance in the films Bus Stop, 1956, and in The Prince and the Showgirl, 1957, was critically acclaimed by the critics and the public as well. Monroe won a Golden Globe for Best Actress for her role in Some Like It Hot, 1959, which was a critical and commercial success. Her last completed film was the drama The Misfits, 1961. Monroe struggled with addiction and mood disorders, and her troubled private life received much of attention from the public. Monroe's marriages to retired baseball star Joe DiMaggio and to playwright Arthur Miller were highly publicized, but ended in divorce. Monroe died on August 4, 1962 at the age of 36 from an overdose of barbiturates at her Los Angeles home. Her death was ruled as a probable suicide. Art historian Gail Lovin stated that Monroe may have been the most photographed person of the 20th century. The Smithsonian Institution has included her on their list of 100 most significant Americans of all time.